Hello and welcome back to Tiny Home Tuesdays. Today we're going to be building a tiny home inspired by frogs. So I've worn this shirt and I realized that the camera cuts it off before the important part, which is that I love frogs. I had a truly amazing idea, which was to put houses on lily pads on a pond. So I'll show you what I came up with, but also a little bit of what didn't work. So first I had this pond on this lot. This is one of the lots in Enchanted by Nature. And what I started with was kind of doing like a platform over the water that looked like a lily pad, but look at it. It does not look like a lily pad. I just was not liking the look, and the circle houses that I wanted weren't fitting on it either. So I made this giant lily pad platform with the tiny little houses, and I just felt like they were too small and it didn't look good. So here's my third try, which was these houses on like the stilt foundation, and then I sized up some lily pads to make it look like they were on them. This seemed to be the best solution. I feel like it looks perfect. It looks just like I wanted it to. And then the Sims would not go in the houses. Like they just would not. With the lily pad there, I could not get that to work. So here's what I came up with. All right, here's the final draft. As you've probably already noticed, I've already completed the build. I'm just showing you a little bit of the process. So we have these 3 houses on different foundations. On this little one on the left, I'm going to do a kitchen, and I just kept it like really minty green, lots of plants, lots of herbs. I gave them the little mortar and pestle in case they need to grind up these herbs. And the kitchen, I didn't add a dining table because you can see it over here on the little walkway. I put a dining table outside. So when I say this house is like a frog tiny home, what I'm kind of picturing is like Frog and Toad, the characters. You know, they're frogs. Well, one's a toad, but like he's a frog, but he's also like a person. So that's what I'm picturing here. Not like little frogs jumping around and not like a human sim. I'm kind of picturing a man frog. You get it. I did add these herbs on top of the fridge. You do have to raise them up to go there. That trash can is a child's trash can and it looks like it has a frog on it. There's not many frog items in The Sims, but I had one particular item in mind when making this build. And you will see it in a moment, but I know the counters are kind of coming through also on this, but that's really going to be covered up because I am going to put plants all over the outside of these houses. It's one house just with multiple buildings. That's what I should call them. Just different buildings. So that's the kitchen all done. And then in the bathroom, I did use the item that this build was inspired by. The Enchanted by Nature toilet was just the only one that made sense in a build like this, right? I mean, what else are we going to use? I kept every room very green. I was running low on green items. But this is, you know, for like a bedroom or a living room, this space feels very cramped in a kitchen. But for a bathroom, it actually feels huge. Like I feel like I have all the room I could ever possibly need for a bathroom here. I decided to just do a tub, no shower. Frogmen don't need showers, right? They go outside in the rain, they have the pond, they have a bathtub. We don't need a shower. I think they'll be fine. This is the item that the whole build was inspired by, this frog rug from My First Pet. And yeah, that pack doesn't get used a whole lot. I do like some of the cat items in there, to be honest. I don't hate it as much as the average Sims user seems to. And here is the final result in the bathroom with the darker wood, and then I used these counters, kind of curved them around by holding Alt to place them. I brought a Sim in here to test everything. It all works fine. There were a couple Sims living here from the Enchanted by Nature pack, and I just demolished their house and decided to keep them to test the build. So you'll see 2 different characters here, and they are the ones from Enchanted by Nature. And she's leaving fairy dust everywhere, which is very rude when I'm in the middle of building her a house. I put one curtain by the bathtub for a little bit of privacy, but you know, do you really need it here? I don't know. It's pretty isolated. We do have the tree lot is like right behind this one, the big tree where you can actually build like in the tree. but that didn't feel right for frogs, okay? And moving over to the bedroom, I put the bed in first, tested it, made sure that a sim could get in it before doing anything else. This layout does work. They can get in the bed. And I'm going with more wood in here. In the kitchen, I did the Enchanted by Nature like wood tile that I really like the look of that, but I wanted to do something different in each room. So I used these mossy rugs from, what are those from? Those are from Snowy Escape, I believe. And again, lots of green, lots of clutter, books, kind of naturey themed art. And then, of course, we need more clutter because this corner, it's not really a corner in a round room. This little spot was still empty, so I added a couple plants. And I think it turned out so cute. I added the clothes on the wall, but this down in the living room is a wardrobe. What I have upstairs does not function like a wardrobe, but I figured we should have one for the sake of like gameplay. And in the living room here, I added a cross-stitch kit and a violin, but I'm thinking of it more like a fiddle, like they're gonna play folk music here, not like violin classical music. I love this little stool for kind of rustic builds. It's so cute as a side table. And of course, a couple hanging plants. We've got a little gnome in this, again, I want to say corner, but it's not a corner. I have a couple chairs and a bookshelf behind the ladder. Doesn't bother me that you can't really access that bookshelf, to be honest. I don't care. So here is the outside, all finished. I love it. I just added like a million lily pads in the pond. I added a few logs and just lots and lots of plants, obviously. This is what I wanted, for it to look just like overgrown, very natural stilt houses in the pond, of course. And I used a lot of those bug lamps from Realm of Magic, just putting them kind of randomly like I did with the windows. I want it to look organic. I mean, these could be like hollowed out tree stumps, you know, maybe there were trees here once long ago. So going into the kitchen, I'll just show you kind of another view using the free camera. I love this room. Everything matches so nicely in this room. I tried putting the counters along the wall, but it was just not working like at all. Just could not get it to work, but I think having it kind of come out like an island is the best way to go in a round room. And the bathroom, the darker green kind of throughout. And I love this mirror from Enchanted by Nature with all the leaves and like mushrooms on it. And then we just have some, you know, bathroom gear over here. Classic bathroom if you're a frog in a stilt house. So going into the bedroom, I, of course, like I said, added a ton of clutter. And I put this lamp kind of between the bed and the wall because I felt like we had this weird dead space, and a few pillows. I didn't feel the need for curtains everywhere. One, because it would have been hard to place. And two, because it's very just like out in nature. I think the frogman who lives here would want to be able to like see everything outside, would like the natural light. And here's the sim ruining the view of this room, but it's hard to show these rooms really because it's so small. You can't really do like a proper tour. But here it is at night, all lit up. I have lots of like floating lanterns as well. And that is it for the build. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe and comment down below what tiny homes you want to see next. Thank you. Bye.